1 second. Okay, hello, welcome everyone. As I said, my name is Emma Gregory, filling in for Leslie. We have Lauren Cohen here who will be presenting today. Lauren is the former co-chair for her CPAC in Mansfield. So Lauren, I'll turn it over to you and start sharing my screen.
Well, thanks everyone. I am from Mansfield, and I was actually the co-chair. My daughter went to high school at Southeastern Regional Vocational High School in Easton, where I was chair and or co-chair for the 4 years that my daughter was there. Prior to that, I was very involved in Mansfield's CPAC as both of my daughters went through the special education system. So it's something I'm really passionate about. And you know, one of the things that I was always tasked with is, you know, helping come up with ideas for meetings. I think that is always a big challenge. There are several meeting requirements that I know each individual CPAC may have different requirements. For Southeastern, we had a few meeting requirements that we must deliver on, and those were the review of the bylaws that usually happened in September, the basic rights workshop, and the elections in June. We always took meeting minutes and posted them for everyone to view if they attended the meeting or couldn't attend the meeting. I'm not so sure, Emma, I'm not so sure I can move the slides.
Sorry, I was muted. I can move them for you. Just let me know when you're ready to switch
You can
between
go ahead.
slides. Okay.
And one more. You know, coming up with the meeting topics year after year was a little challenging. We found that often we were repeating the same topics, or they were topics that now, you know, with social media and the internet that were easily found by other presenters. So we really took a look at, especially the last 2 years, of how can we deliver on meetings that were more intriguing to draw engagement. And you know, the key here is to know your audience. You surely don't want to have a topic on transition planning for elementary school and middle school. Do a survey asking for topics of interest. This was really helpful for us because we heard what was on the minds of the CPAC members. A big one is collaborate with other CPACs in your area. If you're like us, we had no budget, so we would collaborate with other CPACs to get speakers that perhaps they had a budget or that we can contribute very little to. Identify new resources that are both held virtually and within the community. I know from personal experience, one of the main reasons I attend a lot of these meetings is because we're constantly looking for resources. The schools do a great job, at least a lot of the schools do a great job in providing resources, but I found that outside of the school, places, whether it's a social skills place or whatnot, they're more than happy to come on and speak. It not only promotes themselves, but it really shares what other resources are out there. Because if you were like me, you are constantly searching for resources, whether it's alternative therapies or social skills, or just a way for your child to engage with other children, because in a lot of the cases, social skills is challenging for our kids' profile. And also use teachers and, most importantly, parents as potential speakers. You know, we found is, you know, a parent was an advocate, a parent was a special education lawyer. So they're great resources to use. Next slide. So, you know, some suggestions for all grades: speak to an expert, as I said, an advocate, a lawyer, an educator. utilize Federation for topics and presenters. Leslie is always happy to present or guide us through, how to find the resources. Coordinated resource fair. I know Mansfield has done this and done it well in the past, but people are, like I said, are looking for alternative therapies, whether it be, art therapy or inclusive fitness and yoga, or, just teen meeting groups or younger groups. It's really key to help find those resources. Summer activities, the school year ends and now what? There are a lot of camps out there. There are a lot of options for extended year services. And then again, social skills groups. I know that through the years, when I started searching for my daughter, they were hard to find. Now they're popping up more often. I see them more often. And social skills groups are a great option for a lot of these kids. Parent support group. Again, we rely on each other. It takes a village, but we do rely on each other for ideas, for thoughts, to share ideas, to share, when you're having a bad day and need a little support. And then another great topic is talking to your child about their disability, like how to talk to them, how they can handle it and advocate for themselves. I mean, this goes across all grades, obviously. The next slide. And then, when you're, again, knowing your audience, it will help to come up with topics. Understanding the IEP, a lot of parents go into this not really fully understanding the IEP. And to be quite honest, I've gone through years and years and years, and I walk out of every IEP meeting saying, I wish I would have known that. But, it's important to know your rights. It's important to how to organize your IEP binder. Knowing when you can accept it, when you can reject it, what that means. Those are all really important topics that you're faced with every year. So really understanding the IEP is valuable. Executive function workshops. While this topic is sometimes overused, it crosses their everyday life, from life skills to school to social friendships. So executive function workshop is can never be done enough. Assistive technology. This is also get them while they're young in elementary school and middle school. Find out what your school uses. A lot of them use Google, Chrome, Read and Write, but what else is there out there other than what's provided by the schools? As I said, summer activities and summer camps. There's a lot of inclusive camps. There's overnight camps. There's, programs out there that can accommodate elementary and middle school. Resources outside the school, like I said, and then, they're coming into elementary and middle school, social media and internet safety. I think that this is vital. A lot of kids are just looking for friends and turn to the internet, and there really needs to be some understanding of internet safety. Does anyone have any questions so far before I do my last slide? Or high school, like I said, for the past 4 years, I've had the benefit of being a co-chair of SEPAC of vocational high school. So we obviously knew our audience, but for high school, you're really starting to look at things that you didn't look at in middle school and elementary school. Transition guidelines is really important. Transition age starts at 14. So probably in middle school, but transition guidelines are really important, understanding what they are. So I know last year we held one that the Federation put on for us, and that was really important. They provide a lot of good resources requesting support in college for those who are moving on to, whether it be a 2-year, 4-year, or some sort of post-grad education. Requesting support, it looks very different in college than it does in high school or elementary or middle school. So understanding what supports in place. Again, we also held a webinar on that and got 2 local colleges to come in and speak to our SEPAC members. Along that college, the gap year and college options, there are so many inclusive college options, whether your child is looking to go down the academic path or the career path. There are a lot of options available throughout the country. Volunteer opportunities for a lot of kids, working full-time is too challenging on top of their schoolwork and other activities. Volunteer opportunities are just as important because it allows them to do something they're passionate upon. And there's a lot of places such as assisted living facilities, the animal shelters, the food banks that welcome our teens. Pre-employment coaching. Once your child turns 14, pre-employment coach, they're eligible for pre-employment coaching. And again, this is really valuable. A lot of schools have agreements with certain coaching places. For us, we had an agreement with Tempest Unlimited, which was out of Stoughton. If you don't know them, I know it doesn't necessarily have to be through the school that you contact them. I cannot say enough good things about them. You do need a referral from your special education director. It's, I think, a 688 referral. However, they've done wonderful, wonderful things in helping the coaching from, what should I wear, to how to fill out an application, to helping if your child has a job, doing coaching on scene. So pre-employment coaching when you get to the high school level is crucial. And again, I go back to alternative resources. As the kids age up, the resources become slimmer. But my daughter, I'll put a plug into them, attended the Lark Center, which is in Norwood, and they have social skills groups for teens. Alternative therapies, like I said, such as art therapy, yoga therapy. They have social clubs as well. And, all these are really important. And really, that's all I had for presenting. I think it's, like I said, coming up with ideas and getting people engaged is really challenging, right? So you can come up with great ideas, but how do you draw people in? We did it with a mix of switching up the days and the times. We held occasionally Friday morning, come in, meet some teachers, meet us, and those were attended pretty nicely.
Great. Thank you, Lauren. I'm gonna just stop the recording and then we can continue with some discussion.